Welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off, the podcast where three Salt Lake City-based critics fight about film. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
Episode 23, the dog days of summer are coming to an end, and we're looking back on some of the great movies from the summer and some of the not so great movies from the summer. We're going to talk about nostalgia in two different ways on this episode, really. We're going to review Alien Romulus, the latest in that long-running franchise. It's been going since 1979, if you guys can believe that. Then we'll talk about Beetlejuice, the follow-up to the original Tim Burton classic starring Michael Keaton. We'll do our guilty pleasures, which will be the Afterlife edition. Obviously, because of Beetlejuice, we're going to do movies that depict the afterlife in some interesting way. Then we'll do our coming attractions. Then we'll wrap it up. Before we do that, how are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
It's been a good day. I saw a movie that I'll briefly mention later, possibly, that washed the taste of another movie out of my mouth. So.
It's been that kind of week for sure. All right, well, let's get to it. We're going to talk about Alien Romulus. Before Brooks, of course it has to be Brooks because it's got a horror element to it, takes us through the synopsis. Let's get a little taste of the trailer.
Get it away from me!
Run.
Okay, Brooks, tell us where we are in the Alien universe.
Well, it's been 2 decades since the Nostromos has apparently exploded. They find something floating amongst the stars, and then we cut to our main story. Everything's left mysterious at first. And then we get to catch up with Rain, who is a miner, and she's followed around by her android, quote, brother, end quote, Andy, played by David Johnson. And Rain just wants off the planet. She's found a way to possibly do that. She rounds up her ragtag group of friends who might be able to help her, and they head off to Romulus, a ship where they can find some sleep pods to take them to another galaxy far, far away.
You make it sound complicated, Brooks, but it's actually not.
It does, doesn't it?
It's a pretty straightforward sci-fi / horror story. Before we get into the meat of this, though, I want to just help people understand where this movie fits into not the release timeline of the Alien franchise, but the chronological timeline of the story itself. So the two Alien versus Predator movies, they come first. They happen in our time.
Unfortunately, they exist.
Yes.
Yes.
Then you have Prometheus. Then you have Alien Covenant, the follow-up to Prometheus. Then you have the 1979 Alien, the original. So the first movie was number 5.
Mm-hmm.
After Alien comes Romulus, this one that we're talking about now, 20 years later, as Brooks said. Then we do Aliens, which was James Cameron's absolute masterpiece, follow-up to Alien. Then we do Alien 3, which was, God, I forgot, directed by David Fincher, if you can believe it. I can't believe it.
was his first movie, wasn't it?
It was his first movie.
Yeah.
And then we end with Alien Resurrection. So that's the timeline of these films. So
Whoa, you forgot the most important one.
which one's that?
Alf. That comes after Alien Resurrection.
Okay. It's been great doing this show with you guys. I'm sorry to pull the plug now. All of that being said, Brooks, I feel like the only homework you really need to do to see this, if you don't know this franchise, because some of the people going to this weren't even around in 1979. So,
Like me.
right.
Like me.
Notice I didn't say anything because I was definitely around. But I think the best homework you can do for this, if you keep it to 2 movies, is see the original Alien and see Prometheus. I don't think you need to see any more than that. What do you think, Brooks?
Yeah, I totally agree. Because it takes place so close to Alien, but it definitely bleeds a lot of Prometheus into this,
For
which
sure.
I loved.
For sure. Me too.
A lot of people don't, but I loved it.
Of that list, my favorite is still Prometheus. I really, really love that movie. Aliens is fantastic. There's no question. It's a masterpiece, but I love Prometheus. It was really an unexpected experience for me.
Mhm.
What were you going to say, Adam?
Oh, just, yeah, we went in thinking, oh, it's an Alien prequel. And then you realize, oh, this is all about philosophy and, human society and how we have aliens because we killed Jesus. So I'm not,
Totally.
if you haven't seen it, it really is the story of that's how the aliens existed, was because they sent someone to Earth and we didn't welcome them. We killed them. So
Yeah. All right. Let's get back to this one, Alien Romulus. Now, for this movie to work, Brooks, it's got to get the sci-fi right and it's got to get the horror right. Talk about both of those.
Well, I mean, you've got Fede Alvarez directing, the guy who did Evil Dead. The first Evil Dead remake, reboot, whatever, was amazing and gross, and still to this day, one of the most flinchingly horrifying experiences. So it's in good hands. And he also did Don't Breathe, which is terrifying in its own way. And he sticks to his guns. And the one thing I appreciated most, obviously, he's going to get the horror right. It's gross, it's gory, it's scary, it's suspenseful, but he also bothered to make sure that the technology on the sci-fi end matched the technology from the first movie.
Yep.
Everything looks old, it's grainy, it's pixelated. It didn't take the Prometheus approach, which was a prequel set way before the other movies, where everything is bright and shiny and perfect. So I loved that aspect.
Well, it was a new ship in Prometheus. I will say that. It was a
But
new
still,
ship.
well, didn't they have funding too?
They had funding, yeah.
Wasn't that a fully funded expedition?
yeah.
I think by the time they get to Ripley and Rain's time, it's a pretty rundown, grungy universe. The days of Wayland being alive and creating all of this utopian tech is clearly over by this time. So I think it works both ways, actually.
Yeah.
And I love your comment, Brooks, about getting the tech right, because the other thing I think Alvarez gets right, you referenced it, is the gore and the horror. It's never grosser or scarier than it needs to be.
Yeah.
I felt like there was nothing gratuitous about the way he played this. He plays it really straight in that it's exactly as scary and gross
As an
you
alien
require.
movie should be.
Exactly. So there's plenty of pretty violent death. There's plenty of pretty gross, slobbery kind of xenomorph moments too. But I don't feel like he leans too hard into either one of those things. Where do you come down on that, Adam?
I think you're 100% right. The alien movies, we know we're going to have chest bursters, and we know we're going to have teeth within teeth within teeth and all kinds of weird things. And in this one, a cloaca, which I wasn't sure why they did that, but they did. But yeah, when Fede Alvarez did Evil Dead, like that had to be over the top, gross, bloody,
Yeah.
people's arms ripping off, cutting tongues in half, like all that stuff. But with this one, there was that restraint, because that's what kind of made the first Alien so magical. Was it's a haunted house movie, and that's what essentially this is. And
Mhm.
it's always greater to let your mind do the work of what's happening off camera, instead of showing you all the blood and gore and gross things. And yeah, there is some, don't get me wrong,
For sure.
but it really does, like, people get stabbed and grabbed by the tail or with the mouth, and you're like, oh my God. But you never see it. And that's what's so awesome about this. And the fact that it's all 100%, with very few exceptions, practical effects.
Oh, yes.
Like, we had the real aliens, we had the real face huggers. And by the way, screw those face huggers. That is one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my life. Although interestingly enough, I'm a total wimp at scary movies, and I didn't jump once in this. So maybe I'm just
No,
getting.
It's not a jump scare kind of movie.
No.
Though. That's what I mean. He's
It had
not.
a couple
in-
moments though.
It's
There's
very
a couple.
intense. It's push your butt back into the seat.
It's a creep
Yeah.
though. There's not. He doesn't really lean on black cats running across the the
Yeah.
hallway.
No, face huggers.
Yeah. Well, yes.
We just
And
get thousands of, it felt like.
there's a lot of like creepy, crawly kind of skin itch in this movie
Mhm.
for sure. But the jump scares seem to be something he's not depending on. You talk about the FX. Obviously, there's a lot of practical. It's not just practical, though. This movie is full of CG as well. What did you guys think about the effects overall, specifically Brooks?
Specifically, Rook. Is that who we're going to be talking about right now?
I think we kind of have to.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it worked completely. It was weird and off-putting, and it was uncanny valley, and it's exactly what it should be. It's an android. So I don't know what people thought it was going to be, but it looked how it should have looked in the first one, when all they were able to do was just put his body under a table and put his head around it. So
Without giving too much away, there's two depictions of androids in this film. One is intact and looks very human. The other is in quite a bit of trouble. Yeah.
To put it that way nicely,
yeah,
yes.
he's
missing
half off.
missing a lot of parts, a lot of damage, not doing well. And I think the depiction of the two shows the possibility of this technology in their time. The one that's working well looks very human. The one that's working very poorly looks as fake as it possibly can. I think that's intentional. I don't
Mhm.
think that's an FX problem. Adam, do you agree?
That's how it's supposed to be. We've improved the technology, from Alien to this. But that being said, the one thing I find interesting is everyone's upset about, this character, quote unquote, Rook being in the movie. It's like, do you think when they made androids, they made them all like 100% different, or maybe they had some that looked the same, that were the same model? I
I
mean,
mean, look at
course.
Bishop.
exactly, yeah.
Of course. We're giving away a little bit of a plot point here, but it's in the
Eh.
news so much right now.
It,
Yeah.
it was opening weekend and
Yeah.
it was everywhere.
Yeah,
But-
if you've missed it, you're not paying any attention
Yeah.
at all. So we won't go further into how that character plays into the way the story
But
unfolds.
I
But
do need to talk about David Johnson as Andy, and I'm not going
Oh.
to give the reason why, but he has to almost give two performances in this movie.
right,
And if anything you take out of this, that actor is amazing. I'm going to put him up for Vice Martin this year for best performance in a sci-fi horror movie. And I am excited to see what he does next, because had you not had the right actor in that role, it would have fallen completely flat. And he nails every single
Especially
second of
in
it.
that second half.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more. I think all of the performances are very good. I think Kaylee Spaney, she is obviously having a big moment. From Priscilla to Civil War to this, we're seeing her a lot, and she's great in this. This movie could have easily been something that she's just straight up too good for. I remind you of Day One and Lupita Nyong'o, too good for
Mhm.
that. But she made it work because of how much she was willing to invest in it. Kaylee Spaney just seems to naturally inhabit this character, not have to even really work that hard. She just carries this movie in a really good way. Brooks, what'd you think of the performances?
Oh, it's perfect. They always have a final girl and she
true.
works spectacularly. She holds her own and she has an arc and she has to obviously figure out how to defend herself as the movie goes on because of something that happens with Andy, who I'm still convinced is a Dark Tower reference. There's no way it's not. I'm just gonna slip that in there. He's a robot. He's named Andy. He's kind of a comic relief. I can't think of any other thing.
Comic is
He
an
could
interesting
be.
choice of words,
Well,
but
he was at first.
yeah.
He was kind of a first.
It's good that you mentioned Final Girl, because in this franchise, obviously the god of Final Girls is Sigourney Weaver, and it's a lot to live up to. And they even, of course, you've seen it. You've seen people talk about it, and you've seen it in the trailer. They recreate the famous scene from Alien 3, where Sigourney Weaver's looking at the camera, eyes closed, and the xenomorph is right in her face. They recreate that in this. I don't think I'm giving anything away because people are talking about
I
that a
think
lot
it's
too.
in the trailer.
It is definitely in the
Yes.
trailer. And to be able to stand there and do that with a straight face takes a lot of guts. And Kaylee Spaney pulls it off. I think she is not only up to this role, she's up to the responsibility of being the new Ripley. All right, well, let's get to scores on this. I'll go first because I'm more shocked than the two of you about how I felt about this film. I like alien movies. I always have. I told you how I feel about Prometheus. It's really a movie close to my heart. I went into this expecting it to work and to be really well done based on who was involved, but I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. And I liked the horror. I liked the sci-fi. I liked the performances. I liked the way it looked. I liked the way it felt. I liked everything about it. I was so surprised by this. To me, it's a rock solid 3-star summer blockbuster, and I'm just so glad it happened. Where are you, Adam?
So I'm right with you at 3 stars for everything you said. I would have given it a half a star more, but for two things.
Okay.
One, they reuse a line just for fan service,
Ugh,
and it pulled me out of the scene. And I was like, really? That was like an awesome, tremendous moment. And then
is-
you just, meh.
that's my one complaint.
Yeah, that's the one complaint. The other one I have, it's not really a complaint, but it was Fede Alvarez has gone on record saying his whole thing with doing this was he wanted to do Ridley Scott proud. And Ridley Scott loved it and said it was amazing. I kind of feel like he didn't take as many chances as he could have because he was trying too hard to impress him. So this doesn't quite feel like a new Alien movie as much as Alien 1.5, because it does connect the dots between Alien and Aliens very well. Like, how
Yes.
did Wayland Yutani know about the xenomorphs? Well, now we know why. It's from
Right.
this movie. So
Right.
it's a perfect bridge between those ones. But it didn't really do anything too new. But again, you don't always have to do things new to have fun.
I think, though, we're saying the same thing, Adam, because this movie had a mission statement, a job description, and it nailed it. It did
Mhm.
exactly what it was supposed to do. I don't think it was supposed to take huge risks. I think it was supposed to get us to aliens. And I
Yeah.
think it does that extremely well. Brooks, where do you score it?
Well, it was just that one line that I really had a problem with. And it's funny because that was one of the lines I actually was able to hear during the press screening.
It was much better
our-
the second time at a different theater.
Because our
trust me.
audio was so bad. The theater apparently was calibrated wrong, and so you couldn't hear the dialogue. Same thing happened when we saw Deadpool, but I never held it against the movie because I always fall back on a quote. I don't even remember who said it, but a movie works if you can watch it without sound. And
Mm.
so the fact that it was still as nail biting and terrifying as it was, I mean, sometimes I felt like I forgot to breathe. And by the time it was over, it was just, I was out of breath and just loved every
Yeah.
minute of it.
Also, Beethoven said that line. So
Well, he's a smart
he
dog.
had to.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
This
Catch up.
is definitely no dog of a movie, and I'm going with 3.5.
I figured you were going to be stronger than us. So 3.5 for you, Brooks. I'm at 3 stars, Adam.
3 stars.
You guys both mentioned that line in the movie, and I know the one you're referring to. And I think it's a great transition to our next discussion, because one of the things that sequels have to reckon with is the trap, the really attractive trap of nostalgia. We're going to talk about that in a moment. When we talk about Beetlejuice, let's listen to a little bit of the trailer.
When I was a teenager, a trickster demon terrorized our entire family and tried to force me to marry him. I believed he was gone forever until you found this in the attic.
Ew. Who's Beetlejuice?
Don't ever say that name.
Beetlejuice.
No, Astrid, I am serious. If you say his name 3 times, he will appear.
Okay, Adam, tell us what this is about.
All right. Well, we meet up with Lydia Dietz, played by Winona Ryder. It's been 30 years since the events of the first movie. She has now gone on to have a paranormal TV show that's really popular, where she goes and continues to talk to ghosts. Unfortunately, though, we've got her daughter, Astrid, played by Jenna Ortega, who is almost like the exact same character as Winona Ryder from the first one, but she's very estranged from her mother. They don't talk much anymore. Well, a family tragedy takes them back to the original house, and basically they go up there. Astrid discovers the model town again, and Michael Keaton's back as Beetlejuice, and wackiness ensues as the ghost with the most is set loose again.
Okay, well,
The juice is loose.
yeah, I do think you need to see the first one to really understand this movie. So
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
definitely see the original, which is a movie I have loved for most of my life. I think the original is so fun. It was so interesting and creative, and I hadn't ever seen anything quite like it. It was at the height of Tim Burton's powers, which
It was
I will
only his second
later.
movie, though.
I know, but he was at the height of his powers then. Beetlejuice shows that his time, his look, his ethos has passed. We'll come back to why. But what I want to know from you guys is if this story, the one Adam just explained, does anything new? Are there any risks? Is there any development? Does anything new happen in this film?
Yes and no.
All right, Brooks, explain.
Well, I mean, there's some subplots that could have been really good, but they get dropped immediately.
Yes.
And it really pisses me off because one of them in particular was way darker than I assumed the movie would go.
Yep.
And then it gets literally dropped.
Yeah, Deus Ex
Wow.
Machina.
Yeah.
If you agree with Michael Keaton himself, that Beetlejuice is a very nuanced character and not necessarily technically a villain, this movie has 2 bad guys, though, right? 2. And both of their stories are embarrassingly underserved. And as you both said, dropped unceremoniously at points in the plot that make no sense whatsoever. Particularly one of the stories, the one that they don't reference in the trailer, had a ton of potential. That had a ton of potential to make this movie actually grow this mythos in a way that would have been interesting, to take these characters and do something new with them rather than just repackage the old stuff. They didn't even bother to put a 2024 shine on this. I swear they wrote this script the day after they wrapped on the original, put it on the shelf, and dusted it off all these years later. It's almost like they went into the afterlife to find people from the 80s to write this script.
That might have actually, I think you're wrong there because that probably would have made it better.
I don't think so, Brooks. I think the problem with this is that they're trying to tell 1980s jokes in 2024. And this stuff's not funny. The gags aren't funny. The lines aren't funny. The timing isn't funny. How many times before a cut did Burton hold on someone's face while they mugged some overacted reaction to something for at least a beat too long? I'll tell you how many times. Every cut. It happens every
I was hoping you'd actually counted.
I would have lost count. I run out of fingers and toes. It's not possible. So I guess you can tell where I'm coming from on this, which is that nostalgia in the case of Beetlejuice was not only a crutch, it was a curse. It did not allow this movie to succeed on its own merits.
Well, it kind of does the nostalgia same thing, but let's give you more of it. So we know there's a very, very famous scene in the first one where everyone's singing at a table. So they're like, oh, you like that? Let's give you a 7-minute version of that scene at a much crappier song. Like no one likes that song. If they would have done the Weird Al cover, it would have been a much better.
That was all I heard in my head anyway.
Yeah. So
someone needs to recut the scene.
Oh, exactly. And when I was driving home, I was texting Counts about different, the side plot that we're not going to talk about because it is not in the trailer. And I don't want to spoil it because it was the better part of the story. How that could have gone differently.
Yeah.
How she met this person could have gone differently. The very, very last scene of the movie, how it could have been better. And Brooks, I can tell you when we're off mic, but it just said, hey, we like the stuff from before. Let's do it all again, but do it harder and faster and with more intensity, how George Lucas likes to direct stuff. And what's so, I mean, it's true, but it's so interesting though, what we're talking about with this and how it didn't do anything new. And it was just more of the same, which is almost what we just said about Alien Romulus. But look what kind of a different outcome you get when you've got more talented writers, producers, and directors. So I think it's interesting that we're doing these two movies on the same episode because you really couldn't have more of a foil to each one than anything else I could think of.
Well, they are two depictions of nostalgia, as I said in the opening. And one gets it right. I feel like Alien Romulus gets it right because he calculates and calibrates his risks, and he's respectful of the material with one exception without pandering to it. I think Burton is just doing an impression of Burton in this film. And I don't think it serves it well. I don't think it serves these characters well. It makes me like the original less. And that's the biggest crime, that this movie was bad enough that it makes me like the first one less than I did when I saw it. And I've seen that movie probably 20 times in my life. This movie, I think, trips over its own feet, and it's its fault. It's the fault of Burton. It's the fault of the people who wrote the script. They were trying to do the wrong thing, in my opinion.
So, Brooks, you said I was Mr. Grumpy Pants when I texted you after the movie. So make me Mr. Happy Pants.
I'm not going to. That's why I've been sitting here listening to you guys rant for an hour.
Well, then go,
I didn't
Brooks,
rant for
go.
an hour.
I did. He's talking about me. I
Okay.
did.
I don't know. I liked it. I had fun with it. For me, this is, I guess, the best way to describe it is Frozen Empire Ghostbusters Part 2, where the nostalgia worked for me. It was what I wanted. It was like a comfort movie. And yeah, not everything worked. There are some things that drove me crazy, like the Teenage Needle Drops, Elfman's disposable score
Yes.
that he almost basically ruined from the original.
Yeah.
And then there was like, okay, now you're making me mad.
Yay.
Because we know that every PG-13 movie can have 2 F-bombs.
Yeah.
And this one bleeps the second one.
It
The
does.
third one.
And it makes, is it the third?
It was the
Yeah.
third one. They used
Because
their
Catherine
two.
O'Hara
When was
uses
the
one.
second one? I never even caught it.
Because Catherine O'Hara, when she says, I'm not going to let Beetlejuice F with my family.
Oh, does she?
Yes.
And
I
then
never even caught it.
he uses it in the trapdoor moment,
Yeah,
which we won't give
okay.
away. And then his third one, they bleep.
Which means they should have just had him say something else.
Yeah.
It's a very particular moment where any exclamation works.
Yeah.
And instead they just say the line and bleep it out. It makes me wonder if they did
They
all
tried
three
it and
and
yeah.
then tried to decide which ones to keep. And
Oh, I
honestly,
think-
if that's the case, they should have gotten rid of Catherine O'Hara's.
I think it was on purpose, Brooks. I think it was very
Or-
self-aware. I think it was another attempt to do something cheeky.
They
And see, that's
thought,
what I was
maybe
just
this will
thinking.
be funny.
Yes.
No, I was
No,
thinking
it's not.
they put the third one in to see if they could get it past the MPAA. And this is just
maybe.
my random thought process.
And I got caught.
And it got caught. And so to still do it and kind of give them the finger was they bleeped it. That's what my thought would be. But
There was another movie that bleeped an
I mean, Scott
F-bomb
Pilgrim did.
recently. There was one, yeah, but that was done as a joke. There was
I think
another
this
movie
was
where it
too.
was done very on purpose, and I can't remember what it was, but I remember it being recently, and it pissed me off on that one too.
Well,
But
Brooks, the thing you always accuse us of is being no fun. So, and I think that's a fair comment much of the time. And I don't think this movie's job, when I talked about mission statements and job descriptions with the Alien movie, I don't think it was this movie's job to position itself for an Academy Award. I totally
oh no,
understand what it's trying to do. But I do think it is this movie's job to be respectful to this brand and franchise, but do something new with it. I think today's audiences deserve it. I think yesterday's audiences deserve it. Yesterday's audiences being us, the ones who loved the first one. And I just think that, well, I'm repeating myself, but I think it missed in all of the most important ways. So talk more about why you liked it, why you left it smiling, even though we've convinced you maybe to smile less today.
well, it made me laugh. I don't know if maybe it's just the power of most of the cast, but you've got Michael Keaton, which I thought could have been too much Beetlejuice, but he has such a handle on the character. He knows what
does.
he's doing with it. And
It's true.
he kept it exactly where it needed to be.
Yeah.
It does have more screen time than the first one, which I think was like 17 minutes.
Yeah, it
an
wasn't
hour
much
and a
at all,
half
no.
movie. So there's more screen time, but he's also enjoyable. He knows how to perform it, and it's great. And Catherine O'Hara, I mean, she's always fantastic. So she made me laugh. I don't know. It made me laugh.
Well, I can tell you, I was sitting with Adam and Clark, and there were people laughing in the theater, but we were not
See?
three of them. We were not three of them. You didn't get a lot of laughs out of us. And
I think I got one or two.
did you go in, Adam, wanting it to be better, or
That's what hurt me so bad with this is
Yeah.
I enjoyed the trailers. I love
Yeah.
the first one as much as you do.
Yeah.
I remember I loved as a kid the animated series, which I think in some ways is almost better than the first movie.
Mhm.
And there's nothing worse. In fact, my exact words to you yesterday was sometimes you walk into a movie a bit apprehensive. Like we all go in wanting to like it. I walked in wanting to like Pixels. I had this apprehension and I walked out. I didn't like it, but I kind of knew that's what I might be getting into. Whereas with this, like you've got so much talent there.
Yep. Well, I want to make you go first on scores, Brooks, because I'm curious where you are right now, because I imagine that number is moving a lot in your head. But be honest, tell us the truth. What do you score Beetlejuice?
Well, if we had scored it immediately following the press screening, I would have gone at least 3 stars. But now I think I've been dragged down to the depths of 2.5.
Dragged into the grumpy depths of 2.5 stars. 2.5. All right. Well, it made you laugh, and that was what it was supposed to do.
But there are a lot of things that also made me mad. So
Yeah. Adam, where are you?
So I'm at 1.5 for all the things we've already talked about, but it's getting the half star from me for the 2 F-bombs.
Oh, okay.
So that's where my half comes from.
His
Well-
F-bomb is just as hilarious as it was in the first movie. So.
His was perfect. And he delivers that line in a way that only Michael Keaton can. He's not the problem here.
No.
Let me
No.
state that for all the records. I've been very clear about what I think the problems are, so I won't recount them now. But I will say that for me, this movie was 1 star. I was deeply disappointed. I walked out, like I said, not only disliking this experience, but it made me question my own judgment about the original. I think I will forgive myself on that one, but for me, it's a 1-star movie. Adam?
1.5.
Brooks?
2.5.
All right, Beetlejuice. See it at your own risk, as far as I'm concerned. When we come back, we'll do Guilty Pleasures Afterlife Edition. These are movies that depict the afterlife in an interesting way. I cannot wait to hear what you guys came up with. I'm scared to death that Brooks is going to steal mine again. We'll see. Let's take a little break. Welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off, episode 23. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
Guilty Pleasures Afterlife Edition. Adam, you go first.
So mine is a quadruple whammy this week because it's a movie, it's a TV series, it's a comic book, and it's a video game. And of course, I'm talking about Constantine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Constantine, which is based on the Hellblazer
Great
comics.
choice.
Yeah, so it's Keanu Reeves, and we all know Keanu Reeves isn't the greatest actor in the world. He's a wonderful human being, a lovely person, but he's not the greatest actor, but he does a fantastic job with this as far as seeing the afterlife. As he died by suicide, he ended up in hell, came back to life, dying again, trying to rescue Rachel Weisz from whatever the demons and stuff happened. I'm not going to give it away just in case you haven't seen it. But those scenes where he goes into hell don't have the best CGI either, but it's terrifying, and it's a cool kind of whodunit mystery thing. Kind of follows the comics a bit, and from there you can graduate into the actual comics. The short-lived TV series, which was also amazing, that no one but me watched. And then if you can come across the video game and you've got a PS2, it is one of the best movie to video game adaptations ever made.
I did watch the television show and I liked it a lot. I was really sorry to see it go. Great choice. I'm going to go next so that Brooks can't steal mine. I'm going to
Here we go. Drum roll.
Let's see if I did. This movie may not at first seem like a guilty pleasure, but when you look at the Metacritic scores, it actually did quite poorly in its time. And I'm talking about 1998, What Dreams May Come.
You didn't. We got different movies.
I can't believe it.
I've never seen
And
your
I
movie.
almost went with that one too. So
Brooks,
I haven't seen yours.
Brooks, you should see it. It's one of Robin
That's-
Williams' best performances, in my opinion. It's a beautiful depiction of the afterlife. Long story short, he dies. He needs to find someone in the afterlife. It's depicted in this gorgeous way. I talked about the scores before. If you look at Metacritic now, it's currently sitting at like a 44, which is not great. And there's a comment in there by Peter Travers back when he was writing for Rolling Stone where he says, "How could a film look so radiant and be so hollow?" Which is a real ouch. And I disagree. I don't find it hollow at all. If you've never seen it, Brooks, I'm including you in this. Go find a way to watch What Dreams May Come, 1998, starring Robin Williams. Cuba Gooding Jr. is in it, Annabelle Sciorra. Great cast. So, Brooks, what did you pick, if not this?
Nope. It's 1991. Albert Brooks is Defending Your Life.
Oh,
yeah.
Well done.
It is like probably the weirdest movie an 11-year-old could think is like Oscar worthy. but it's Albert Brooks. He's one of the funniest guys on the planet. Always has, always will be.
No
I
question.
don't care. He dies and it's Judgment City. It's like a regular metropolis, but you're carted around and you have to go back and relive your life in basically a movie theater. They replay things back and you get to talk about it in hilarious ways.
I think this is one of our best guilty pleasures. I think these are 3 experiences people should run out and have. What's yours again, Brooks?
Defending Your Life.
Mine was What Dreams May Come. And Adam, your quadruple threat.
Constantine.
Awesome. All right. One last segment on episode 23. We're going to talk about our coming attractions. Give us one more break. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back one last time on episode 23 of Big Movie Mouth Off, coming attractions, things we're excited about. I'm going to the world of television, but in a sort of double threat, Adam. It's a television show based on a video game.
Ooh.
I'm talking about upcoming in November, season 2 of Arcane. I never played League of Legends, but the television show that Netflix did called Arcane, based on this video game experience, is, in my opinion, the greatest piece of television or film entertainment to come out of a video game property. And I'm including Fallout and I'm including The Last of Us. It is an amazing animated experience, one of the best things I've seen, and I'm so excited about season 2 coming up. Arcane, it's a Netflix series. Watch the first series now to prepare. Brooks, where are you?
I'm going to have to go with one that's been in the news lately, at least for me, and go with Lee Wanell's Wolfman. Because now I want to see it more than ever.
I've only just heard about this. I'm ashamed of myself.
And I've seen the memes you made. That's about it.
Well, I'm convinced that the Wolfman that's floating around online, there's no way it's the main wolf.
It's A24, right? What is it?
No, it's Universal, but it's
Universal,
Lee Whannell.
okay.
I mean, it's the guy that gave us Saw and The Invisible Man and Upgrade. I mean, it's like, there's no way it's going to be as bad as what they've put online so far.
Okay.
And they just released the teaser yesterday. Yeah. And I think it proves my point. There's some lines of dialogue and there's a very particular shot that takes place through a scope. And yeah, that's not our Wolfman. I think we can rest easy
All right.
and,
I'm going to
and
watch.
wait to see what he brings us.
I'm going to watch this trailer as soon as we sign off. Wolfman, what are you looking forward to, Adam?
So mine is a video game. It comes out, well, as we record this in 5 days. So we'll see when, everything gets out there for you all to listen to. But it is the Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection.
Oh, yeah.
I very specifically remember playing these in the arcades, someone as a teenager on up into as an adult. You get a total of 7 games with it. So you get X-Men, Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, Marvel versus Capcom 2, which might be one of the best fighting games of all time. And then you also get the Punisher beat 'em up game, side scroller beat 'em up like the old Turtles game. So it's like $50, I think, and you get so much stuff with it. And there's a lot that'll probably be more like nostalgia, like the X-Men versus Street Fighter and stuff. But it's worth it alone for Marvel vs. Capcom because that again was one of the greatest in the series. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And then I also have it on good authority that everyone needs to run out and see Transformers 1 when it releases. I heard a little fairy told me.
And whose authority is that, Adam?
It's a little fairy, and this person is legitimately a fairy. So
And it definitely wasn't a little birdie because that bird wasn't there.
exactly, yeah. So
All right. So, all right. What's your coming attraction, Adam?
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
Mine is Arcane Season 2, due out in November on Netflix. And Brooks, your coming attraction?
Wolfman.
All right, Brooks, before I let you go, we've got one reshoot from the last episode, and it was your coming attraction from then. What'd you get wrong?
Well, I mixed up coming attractions because I was going to go with one and went with a different one. And so what I went with was St. Denis Medical, and said that it was created by Bill Lawrence, who actually created Florida Man with Vince Vaughn. But
What a big difference.
Exactly.
Tiny bit, yes.
But this one is created by 2 people named Justin Spitzer and Eric Legend.
I can't believe we just manufactured a Florida Man reference into this podcast. Incredible.
We win.
And I
All
think
right.
we've all officially had one reshoot.
Oh,
I think that was your
multiple.
first, Brooks.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Brooks. You're one of us.
One of us.
I finally made the club. Do I
All
get a
right.
jacket?
No jackets.
No.
Just the shame.
I'll give you a shiny rock.
All right, that's going to do it for episode 23. Summer is drawing to a close, but Big Movie Mouth Off is going to be with you all through the fall. We're getting into awards season. There's going to be lots of great stuff to talk about. So until then, I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
Thanks for being with us. Big Movie Mouth Off was produced and edited by me, Jeff Counts, and co-hosted by Adam McDonald and Brooks Bird. Our theme music is written by Brian Z. Richards, and this show is dedicated to the memory of our founders, Jeff Michael Weiss, and my partner in crime for over 5 years, the incomparable Jimmy Martin.